Hey guys, Smith from 735 here. In this video, I'm making a hardcore Ironman looting bot Pker. And for those of you who don't know what I am talking about, here's a quick breakdown. In Revenant caves, there are low-level bots that pick up the remaining loot from Pkers killing players, as well as PVMers that leave loot behind because they have to run away from the Pkers. So, I believe these bots are holding on to some serious money. At the very least, I'm pking Ethereum bracelets, and that cuts into their profits. And that's why I chose to become an Ironman, because I would not gain experience in PvP combat. As for the hardcore Ironman status, that's just to see how far I can go doing risky shit without dying. And in this video, I find myself in deep wildy already. Pulling the lever to the deep wilderness, where I can die by level 50 plus. Okay, so now that I am an Ironman, not being able to use the Grand Exchange is going to be the biggest obstacle for me. So step 1, getting food in order to survive. Seriously, I'm a hardcore Ironman now, so I need to stay alive. I don't want to be one of those, regular Ironmen. So the most obvious option for this is fishing. Okay, so for my Ironman, I'm going to need some cannonballs, obviously, in order to level up my range without leveling up my HP. And I'm over here searching for coal, and the best way to get coal for an Ironman that is not through any method that involves killing certain monsters or doing a lot of quests, Chambers of Zarek obviously is a level 10 HP hardcore Ironman. I cannot do this. So the best way that I found is by buying ores and Keldogram. Okay, you need to start this quest to gain access to Keldogram. Cool. So I gotta start the giant dwarf. Requirements: completion of, yep. So I gotta do the night sword. There's no way around it. So I gotta do 2 quests. Alright, so sea slug completed, 24 fishing levels, and now let's get to cooking. Okay, so I'm gonna spend quite a while here AFK fishing and whatnot, getting my fishing and my cooking level up. So yeah, next time you see me, I might just be going to the wilderness with an inventory full of tuna. Okay, so I finally made it to the lava maze, now only to cut the web and run through a whole bunch of aggro monsters to reach the steel plate bodies. And here's our very first plate body, now just to get a full inventory. Okay, so here I am with a full inventory of steel plate bodies. Alright, round number 2. Here we go. Alright, second inventory of steel plate bodies has been acquired. Now I have 5 salmon, 74 run, so I think I should be good. And 2 trips later of collecting steel plate bodies, we managed to get 47. Which at 1.2k each, which I believe that's what the store buys them for, is 56k. I'm going to be training my magic now with, what the hell am I doing at the Grand Exchange? I'm going to be selling these off, buying some ruins, and training my account. Alright, so before training any further, I decided to do Gertrude's cat quest, which gives me a little kitten. Gives me some nice cooking levels there, and when this kitten grows up, which should take about 3 to 4 hours, I'm not 100% sure which one it is, but I could then turn it in for 200 death runes to the people in Ardoing. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I don't give a fuck about this little cat, I just want the death runes. So sorry little buddy, your ass is going to be traded into slavery to the Ardoing people for 200 death runes for my pleasure of killing people at Revenant caves. That's the sad truth. Alright, so I finally got the necessary ruins in order to get 21 magic, which will give me a low alk. And then once I reach 21 magic, I'm going to be heading back to the steel plate bodies in the wilderness and low alking until maybe I get 55. That seems like a bit of a stretch, 21 to 55. But if I do manage to do that, I will have quite a bit of GP. And I could not only alk the steel plate bodies, but then I could walk over to the staff of the earths and probably get those as well. I don't know what I'll do for 55 magic, but something along those lines seems the more reasonable. 204 nature runes, bought 10 law runes for teleports, telegrab, and 1.5k for the staff of fire, which I'm going to be getting right now. Okay, so this is my third time up here, but this time I brought low alk, so it's time to make some real money. Okay, so after alking all of the steel plate bodies that I could, I ended up with 160k cash, plus a full inventory of steel plate bodies brings the grand total to 180k. Okay, so I have to plan for what weapons I'll be using for pking once I reach my desired levels. And I think the magic shortbow will be the best option because not only is it fast, but its special attack shoots 2 arrows instead of 1, which gives me a better chance of killing somebody. Okay, so my kitty just grew up into a cat, so it's time to sell her off to the Ardoin people for 200 death runes. Okay, so I just hand over the cat. There's 100 death runes. Alright guys, I haven't recorded a clip in a few days because I've been spending a lot of time here woodcutting and doing quite a bit of fletching. So I got 55 woodcutting, 48 fletching. I gotta upgrade my axe, and that should speed up my fletching because I'm getting more logs per hour than whatever the hell I'm getting with these steel axes. So yeah. Okay, so I finally got into the woodcutting guild with 60 woodcutting and 75 Hosidius favor. So let's go ahead and get that rune axe we were waiting for. There it is. 40. What? 40k. This shit costs 40k. Really? Really, bro? And that costs 4k. 36k difference. Okay, so this is my first ever time here being at Wintertodd. And being a hardcore Ironman, I don't know how risky this could be, but I read that the max hit should be 1s and 2s for somebody with 10 HP. So I shouldn't be too scared, and I shouldn't expect to die unless I kind of AFK. But anyways, the reason I'm here is because there's 2 drops that I would love to get. The first one being the Tome of Fire, that would increase the damage output of fire spells, as well as the Dragon Axe, which will be an upgrade to the rune axe, so I'm getting more logs per hour, which ultimately means more fletching XP per hour. So hopefully I get lucky very soon because I know the drop rate for those 2 items are very rare, so I'm not expecting anything. I just want the good XP rates that come along with it, and if I manage to get these 2 rare items, then I'll be super fucking thrilled. But for now, I'm just training. And here is my first ever PK as a hardcore Ironman. I was collecting nature runes for both magic training as well as binding spells for when I actually go PKing for real. And yeah, I managed to get a KO. Okay, so this is the second trip of collecting nature runes in Deep Wilderness completed. And in total we got 2,150 nature runes, which is about 500k if you were to sell it in the Grand Exchange. And I just reached a huge milestone, which is 65 fletching. This allows me to fletch use short bows, which is a good enough starting range weapon for PKing. Okay, so I gotta get my account ready for its training, and first step is doing the dwarf cannon quest in order to train my range with cannonballs. And there's the knight's sword quest completed, which gives me 29 smithing, enough for cannonballs. Okay, so I came back to the steel plate bodies in order to collect some cash for resources. And I run into this little fellow who's trying to kill me for my hardcore status and my 1.9k nature runes.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
And that's how my hardcore Ironman status has ended. So we're still going to continue with the low level pking account. So first step is making some money. I went back to the wilderness, collected some steel plate bodies, sold it to the shop for about 1.2k each, went back into the wild with some law ruins, telegraphed some nature ruins for future binding spells, and then ultimately I am going to train agility to level 55 or maybe even 50 if I just want to get right to it and do pyramid agility pyramid so I could collect 10k cash per every lap, and that's how I'm gonna afford the cannons and the resources to make the cannonballs and ruins and just training in general.